Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Let me know if you could hear me or not. You guys put in the chat. Let me know if you could hear me or not. Anyway, hopefully you guys could hear me okay. I'm out and about because I got to meet a client in a few minutes. So since I'm out and about, I wanted to get online. I was going to miss my regular live stream today. I just want to give you guys like an update on Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard last night, WGN or Chicago Fox 32 News, they dropped a video saying that Tiffany Henyard is the main target of the FBI investigation. So and we knew that. It's not nothing that we didn't know. It's just they just confirmed these things, or these uh, the things that they were doing under for the investigation. Now, if you saw my last post that I put up, Tiffany Henyard actually was served with a few subpoenas at Thornton Township. Okay, so I believe it was last Friday. Last Friday, she was served with a couple of subpoenas at Thornton Township, and in some of those documents, they asked for credit card receipts, something that she's been avoiding. Credit card receipts, and also they wanted employee records. They wanted some of the financial documents, just a hodgepodge of documents that she failed to provide the citizens. Her being in office, the supervisor of Thornton Township, she failed to provide those things. So people are questioning whether or not she's allocating the money where it's supposed to be, and she's not doing that. So the FBI is asking for those documents, and I believe she has up until May the 30th, something like that, May the 30th, to present these documents. Okay. Now, her, Keith Freeman, is named on several lawsuits. So in the FBI documents, they named him. They want his records as well. Anything paid, they want employee records as far um, as it pertains to their pay, and also they want credit card receipts. So if they're not or May 20th, yeah, you're right, Muada. Um, it's May 20th. Tagged you saying she'll probably make some false documents. Probably so, because she's a liar, So she probably, but she's not smart enough to make false documents, so she's gonna have to rely on Keith Freeman to make these false documents. So the FBI came in Friday with several subpoenas for Thornton Township, and then it is confirmed that Tiffany Henyard is the target of the FBI investigation. And I believe Tiffany Henyard is the target, and also Keith Freeman. They're also questioning police records. So they're trying to look at police time. They also are trying to look at, the guys that were, I guess, her security officers or her bodyguards. They're looking at those records. And they also are looking at the vehicles that they drive in the township and who's paying for those vehicles. Because I think Tiffany Henyard, she's going to have a problem with commingling funds. Just because she works for the city government and the township government, that doesn't mean that those funds could be commingled or can be commingled. And if you guys are business owners, the taxes doesn't allow you to commingle funds. You're going to have to prove to the federal government if you actually spent or allocated those dollars for, for the business that you said you allocate those dollars for. So that's the same with Thornton Township and the city of Dalton. So I believe she was using Dalton Village funds, i.e. the security officers or bodyguards of Dalton Village, to for Thornton Township, because Thornton Township is a full-time position. Why do you need a bodyguard for a supervisor position? It's very unlikely and unheard of that you would need a bodyguard 24/7, because you're only acting as a mayor. You're supposed to be part-time for the village of Dalton. So they're trying to get those records. They want those records, as far as who was on her detail, how much money were they spending, and who is paying for those services. And we're going to find out. We know Dalton Village was paying for those services while she was acting as the full-time supervisor of Thornton Township. Now, this is my prediction with Thornton Township and the village of Dalton. Since Tiffany Henyard made a muck of this whole thing, being the Thornton Township and the village mayor, they're probably going to write a resolution. And I would suggest write a resolution that no longer you could serve two positions. You cannot serve as the Thornton Township supervisor and a city mayor in those 16 cities. Or in particularly since the village of Dalton went through the whole scandal. Village of Dalton probably will write that resolution. You can't hold two positions. It should be illegal. Smooth BSO. I'm trying to read your comments since I'm on the, it's different. You said, ain't no way she broke. She makes 300K and never spent a dime of her own money. Exactly. I think she's hiding. We probably find out that Tiffany Henyard is similar to, what's her name, Fonnie Willis. Oh, I keep cash with me. or that senator, the senator who had a whole bunch of cash on him. And when the FBI raided his house, they found gold bars. Uh, I doubt if she has gold bars, but a whole bunch of cash. I think he had $150,000 worth of cash stuffed in his pockets and stuff. So we'll probably find out that's what she's doing. She probably got some money buried somewhere, or her mama got her money or something like that. So she's not broke. Um, yeah. So the May the 20th is the deadline. I heard they looking at Kamal now, and exactly right. That's a good point, because on the documents they're trying to figure out, okay, what capacity is he serving as? They maybe or maybe not. I'm not for sure, but I might be in the dead zone. So we know they're looking at her and Kamal. Okay, they're looking at their businesses, and particularly her businesses, and they're looking at the CARES Foundation. They want all the records from the CARES Foundation and any money. They're specifically talking about that Springfield trip where they went on to raise money or march to Springfield. So they're trying to see, okay, what money did you use to march to Springfield? Was that the Village of Dalton money, or was that Thornton Township money? And it shouldn't have been none of them, because this is a foundation. This is your foundation. And you have no right to allocate federal dollars, federal dollars to your personal foundation. Okay? You have no right. That's a good question, Sam. Sam Atkins said, "Who will run for Dalton?" Dalton, I believe Jason House is running for. He's running for mayor. Jason House is running for mayor. I'm not for sure who will run for the supervisor position, but it might be, some of her extreme supporters. They said Napoleon Hill, but I don't think um, Dr. Nikita. I don't know if she's online, but I believe he's not going to run. But they mentioned his name. I doubt if he's interested in that, because why would you go from Thornton Township supervisor, from a senator to a Thornton Township supervisor? It makes no sense to me, unless he just want to get more involved in the community. So yeah, I'm not for sure who will run for that position, but it's up for grabs. Lexi, thank you for tuning in. You guys, um, respect to all my moderators that's out there. Lexi says, hi, all stopping in to say hi, have a good show. I'm off to the dentist. Well, hopefully you have a good dentist appointment. The Warrior is in the building. Good afternoon, James MC. John Kirby. Call it the no double dipping resolution. Yeah, they should have a resolution that's no double dipping. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Preacher Man 101. Information about Stan Brown is on the subpoena as well. Yeah, so Stan Brown, he's a double dipper. Stan Brown holds two positions. So even though he's real quiet and he seems like he doesn't really cause any trouble, I thought they only had one mayor, and that was Lopez, but I don't know who Gerald is. You guys put it in chat. I thought the rest of them were females, but maybe I'm incorrect. Big Boots said you might hear about sexual allegations, human trafficking, and uh, as it with Tahoe Tiffany, Tahoe Tiffany. Yeah, you might. I've been hearing little rumors about that. They call her a madam. I don't know if it's just rumors or if these allegations are true, but only time will tell. Uh, they all snitching if they're smart. Yeah, I mean, why go down for, you know, I'm not the leader. Why would I charge it to the, this is not no game in the streets. So I'm gonna snitch, especially if I got kids, got a family. Yeah, I'm telling it all. Say I came in to work for the city government. I didn't think I was gonna get involved with all this craziness. So I'm pretty sure people are gonna start just giving out information. Stump down 2.0. All I'm waiting on is the mugshot and that wig pulled off real bad. Yes, I'm waiting for that day too. Stephen Nimley, thank you for tuning in. It's good to see you. Don C said Tiffany probably looking for a lawyer today. Yeah, that was another upset with Tiffany. Tiffany is not having a good week or good month. We could say the month of April has been really bad for her because Tiffany has to look for a new lawyer, and since she has to look for a new lawyer, um, it's I'm they're gonna charge her up an arm and a leg. Um, she probably gonna try to get the city to pay for it, but no, that's your problem. You should pay for your own stuff. This is a criminal investigation, so you should be liable for your own stuff. Yesterday we talked about Tiffany lawyer dropping her because she's becoming uninsurable. Since she's uninsurable, um, a lot of people probably are trying to steer away from her, and that's going to be a challenge for or Dalton Village, because if they need to go out and get a bond, you're uninsurable. How you going to get a bond? And bonds, if you are familiar with that, that's just basically collect significant amount of taxes for a small village. I think they're 15 million a year, so that's pretty significant. And I remember one of the trustees, um, she was saying that her taxes are high. So we know they charge them a lot to live in a village of Dalton, but what are they getting for? So the village of Dalton hands is pretty much tied right now. I'm waiting to see, are they going to, now that the feds is really starting to come to a head. You really don't need to be spending extra money unless you're trying to find something else. I'm not for sure. Unless they're trying to find something else, why pay the village of Lord Lightfoot $400 an hour? It doesn't make any sense. And plus, you already operating in the red. You know, we know they're operating in the red. So they probably, since they're uninsurable because of all these lawsuits, they're probably going to be facing either bankruptcy or hopefully they'll be able to get a bond to kind of get out of some of the red. But we don't know how much deficit the city is in right now because we haven't seen any of the receipts. We don't know. So right now they're flying in the blind. So anyway, Kennard the DJ, thank you for tuning in. Um, John Luna, thank you for tuning in. Just me, a Lady T. All the police from Dalton went to Jedediah's court appearance this morning. Left the city vulnerable and intimidation at its worst. He went live on Facebook. That and that's a shame because Jedediah Brown, he's an activist. I don't know much about the man, but he seemed like he's been doing the work to get stuff out there. But it doesn't that doesn't make any sense that you have probably 15 people on the police force, and so you are going to attend the court for what? That doesn't make any sense. It's already out. We know you're doing wrong. We know you're collecting time. How can one person on the police force work 333 hours? That doesn't make any sense. So we know that information is already out. So what are you intimidating? So I'm not for sure what the problem is. Okay, you got. I think he was in court because of this court order, right? So I'm not for sure what's the problem. Does anyone know if Tiff can refuse the withdrawal by Delgado? No, they probably got written in the contract if you get so many things behind, he probably has the right to withdraw from the case. And then I'm not for sure how he wrote up his letter, but the last person that resigned, I think it's Anson or something like that. It's a lawyer group that resigned a couple of years ago from Tiffany Henyard. They mentioned that she's not easy to work with. She's not taking their legal advice. So if he put that in there, what am I there for? If you're not going to take my advice, if you're not paying me, you have so many lawsuits where I advise you to not do this, and then you have Thornton Township trustees, we're butting heads against them and it's against their constitution, then she probably cannot refuse his withdrawal. So it all depends on what was written in that contract in the beginning. I'm not for sure, but he's the lawyer, so I'm pretty sure. And Dalton is practically bankrupt. I totally agree. Just Lady T, just me, Lady T said yes. Jedediah Brown was there for a restraining order. John Luna is a contract with the village said that if they were 60 days or more overdue, he has the right to end his services. Probably so. I'm not for sure, but I'm not for sure what the contract says, but I'm pretty sure it would be something like that. Like if you're not paying me, I don't know if 60 days will be rightful termination, but or to drop you as a because it takes, sometimes it takes the city to cut the check. You got to get it approved, but you know you have to get it approved through the trustees that don't even want you there. You know, they, if you're representing against the trustees are there for, to make sure that you're doing the right thing, and but we're, you're not doing the right thing, and you're just kind of going against the village of Dalton residents at this point. So yeah, you guys, that's basically it in a nutshell. Tiffany Dalton, Tiffany, I said Tiffany Dalton, but Tiffany Henyard, she is the target of the investigation, and her days is numbered. Okay, her days are numbered. So TikTok Tiffany, your days are numbered. You about to be in jail. Okay, probably under the jail. If they gave Kwame Kilpatrick 28 years and you're doing way more than Kwame, they're going to give you way more than Kwame. They're going to make an example out of you. Okay, you guys, thank you for tuning in. That's all I had to say. I got to run off and meet my client, but I really appreciate every single last one of you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. We're do daily videos or daily live shows Monday through Friday. This is not normal my setup, but since I was traveling, um, I I just didn't want to miss a live show. But usually we have an hour long show, 1:30 to 2:30, Monday through Friday, and or Monday through Thursday, and on Friday it's an evening show at 8:30. Between 8 and 8:30, it all depends on how, you know, get my kids fed and my husband fed. So, anyway, I really appreciate every single last one of you. And you guys, I am sending all my good to you. Have a great evening.